to a brand new episode of GC360, recorded right here in our Garden City, New York media studios. I'm your host, Victoria, and on this show, we chat about everything from breaking news to common everyday topics, such as relationships, business, sports, finance, health, and education. And now you can stream our GC360 podcast on all popular listening platforms. This episode is brought to you by Alliance Services, helping older adults to continue to live well and independent. On this episode of GC360, we are exploring ways professionals are giving back to communities in need amid a pandemic. And joining me today in studio to discuss this are my very special guests from the Mineola-Garden City Rotary Club, President Diane Marmann, and Head of Public Relations, Althea Robinson. Now, for those who don't know, the Rotary Club, established in 1905, is a worldwide charity organization whose purpose is to bring together business and professional leaders in order to provide humanitarian service and to advance goodwill and peace around the world. The Rotary Club of Mineola-Garden City believes its purpose is service to others, service before self, through efforts to improve the community and to promote high ethical standards in business and professional life. Thank you, ladies, so much for joining me in studio today.
Thank you for having us. We're happy to be here.
Of course. So before we dive into our questions, I want to congratulate the Garden City Mineola Rotary Club on its success of distributing over 10,000 masks between Rotocare, New Ground, NYU Langone Long Island Hospital, and local essential workers. Can you guys tell me a little bit more about that?
Oh, I would be happy to. That was such a great initiative. It was an initiative that started in the Northeast. The Rocco family donated millions of masks, and we were able to distribute them through 7 Rotary districts in the Northeast. They brought them in on a giant truck. They parked in the Sears parking lot in Hicksville, the old Sears building, and about 80 Rotarians from throughout all of Long Island gathered and collected over 300,000 masks to be distributed in the local communities throughout Brooklyn, Queens, Nassau, and Suffolk. Our Mineola-Garden City Rotary Club accepted 10,000 masks to distribute, which we distributed to the organizations that you mentioned. And in addition to that, we also gave masks to an organization called For the Love of Pete's Pantry, which is a food pantry in Seaford that's been recently started. And we also gave masks to Happy Hearts Senior Center in Mineola. So our goal was to distribute disposable masks to the community, to give out to the community members in need, as needed throughout all these organizations.
Wow, that's incredible. So in addition to delivering these 10,000 masks, Diane, what are some other ways the Rotary Club has supported surrounding communities in need during this pandemic?
Well, the start of the pandemic was difficult for everyone. Everyone wanted to help and no one really knew what to do. So what our Rotary District did was we started an initiative to, at the very least, thank our essential workers. So the way that we did that was we had signs printed up and distributed through all of Garden City and Mineola, over by the hospital, by the supermarket, by the post office, that just thanked all of our essential workers for putting themselves at risk for us during the pandemic. We also gave out, in addition to the masks happened, we gave out hand sanitizer. And that's pretty much what we were able to do at that time.
Which is still a lot, because during the pandemic, there was, even to do anything is a lot.
And we also had signs made up that people could purchase and put in front of their homes.
Right.
So many of us had, actually put those signs. And if you'd walk up and down the street, you'd see these Rotary signs, that we were supporting
nice.
that the first responders.
So Althea, tell us a little bit more about the services the Rotary Club offers.
Okay, well, 2 of our major services. First, I would say Rotocare, which actually our club created back in 1992. And what it is, it provides free medical care for those that are uninsured and that are in need and cannot have the funds to pay for medical care in any other way. And as Diane had mentioned, we had shutdown in the facility that we were operating out of Rotocare during the pandemic. But one of the churches opened in
conjunction with the Hempstead Uniondale Rotary Club.
Right.
They opened their local church to the Rotocare facility.
Wow.
so that it could continue to operate during the pandemic and provide
Right.
that so important medical care to the people that really needed it.
Right.
And they're actually still there today.
In the church?
In the church,
Wow.
right? The
In the church.
Rotarians and the volunteers stand out front. They direct the people in. Everybody is masked in appropriate PPE, and they have a big auditorium, and the services are provided right there in the church.
Wow, that's incredible.
And Rotocare also has their fundraisers too, and we try to support Rotocare's fundraisers. It's not like it is kind of a separate organization, but since we created it, we're very supportive of it. Yeah, and some of the other services that we provide, one of the major ones is the Gift of Life program, whereby we bring children, mainly young children, but could be up to age 18, over from mainly third world countries rather, but basically from anywhere in Europe. And over for volunteer free heart surgery. And these children would have succumbed, if they did not get the surgery. During the pandemic, because of the travel limitations, we were able to send doctors over there to train doctors and nurses and hospitals over there in order to provide this surgery for these children, because they were not able to travel to our country. But we certainly hope to go back to be able to do that again when we're done with this terrible, challenging time.
Definitely. A lot of services you guys offer, and they're major ones too.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
And there are so many more.
There are so many more. We ring the bell for the Salvation Army during holiday time
Wow.
at one of our local supermarkets, which allows us to do that behind their store every year. And we also provide dictionaries for every student in the elementary grades in both Garden City and Mineola.
Only third grade. Third
sorry.
grade students.
I'm sorry, third grade. Third grade students, right. And in both Mineola and Garden City. And we also donate to a project during Thanksgiving time. One of our families in town, their entire family runs this program where they provide meals for seniors and those in need, and we feed into that. But this year, during the pandemic, they were unable to prepare the meals that they normally did, so they had the local markets as volunteers provide the food. And so, they were limited as to what they could do, but they still provided the food.
You still make it work.
They still made it work,
Yeah.
right? You have to be creative. And let me see. We provide scholarships for students from both Garden City and Mineola high schools, the seniors, and mainly because they have contributed throughout their high school years towards some sort of community service, and or have worked for local charities. And so there are many other things we do. We also donate to an organization called New Ground, which provides for a lot for veterans, for the needs of veterans. And then there's another organization called General Needs, and we often have them come and speak to us about what their latest needs are, and we try to contribute into that.
Wow.
Right.
That's awesome. Diane, according to the Millennial Impact Report, millennials care more about social issues rather than institutions, and support others and the greater good more than an effective partisan politicking. Additionally, millennials seek employment with companies that focus on giving back. So what do you think is important for professionals, especially young professionals, to engage in philanthropic work?
Well, I believe that it's very important for them to engage in that kind of community service work. One of the organizations that Rotary sponsors is called RILA. It's Rotary Youth Leadership Association. It is a program for 10th graders in high school. And it is a leadership program. It started out as one weekend a year, and it is now spiraled into, we do something about once a month now. It's run by a group of 12th graders who've been through the program, and facilitated by 11th graders. So it's completely a student-run leadership organization. Through that organization, they learn leadership skills. They think they're playing games over the first weekend. They're not. They're learning team building skills. We have speakers that come in that have done amazing things. A lot of the speakers are actually high school students themselves or in college that have started foundations. We learn about the dangers of drug use, not that they don't learn about that in school as well, but we have one speaker who comes in who just gives his whole life experience. We've had a speaker who came in who has no legs, but he was a professional wrestler. And he was incredible. So these students, through this weekend and through their experiences, learn all about leadership and giving back to the community. In the summer, we run a program up in Massachusetts where they actually learn the foundation of putting together some sort of project or give back to the community. And through that, they come home from that and they complete their project. It could be a water project, it could be a park cleanup, it could be a food drive or a clothing drive. We had one girl who provided music at the Schneider Children's Hospital for the kids. So it's really important for millennials and the whole younger generation to learn about giving back, because the joy that you get from doing that is just incredible.
Yeah. I wish I knew about that when I was younger. I would have.
Yes.
It's never too late, right?
It's never too late. We're always accepting volunteers.
Yes.
And not only that, but we normally meet twice a month on alternate Mondays at the Garden City Hotel. We have lunch meetings, and we have these RILA students come and speak to us to create an awareness, because Diane is kind of offline with this, and not everybody gets to hear all of these things that go on through RILA. So we have a couple of these students come and talk about it and all that they've learned. And I think the most wonderful thing about it is that they say that they had absolutely no idea that they had it in them to public speak or do whatever. And these are the things that they've learned through RILA. And so we get to hear about it because Diane brings these students in. Now, during the pandemic, of course, we're not having our lunch meetings at the Garden City Hotel. We're doing it virtually over Zoom. But we just did have the speakers from RILA come and speak to us on Zoom.
Wow.
So it's still work, and you just have to be creative. And also there's another way that Diane will speak about also, to create funds. Since we didn't have our two major fundraisers, which is one, a holiday luncheon, and then the other one is the Community Service Award, and those are two of our major fundraisers. Well, obviously, we were not able to do that this year, but we did have a very creative virtual holiday party on Zoom, which Diane ran.
Oh, that's awesome.
It was great. And we sang, and in fact, her theater group actually performed for us.
Oh, so cool.
A choral group.
On Zoom, you had a big turnout. So.
The turnout is our club is about 35 to 40 members, and on Zoom we get between 12 and 20 at a meeting.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, not bad.
All right, Althea, there are so many charities and causes for professionals to direct their time and financial contributions to. So what would be your advice to these professionals that seek to give back?
Well, I think that they have to look into their community to see what, I'm thinking of an example of one of our local supermarkets in the past has done so many things for the community just through their business. And I think that there is more of an attempt through young people to seek organizations and professions that do give back to the community. Hopefully, they've learned that through such organizations like RILA, and through their parents' guidance and through school. And I think statistically, it's been shown that they do seek, professions and jobs that through companies and organizations that do give back to the community.
I've noticed even with sorry to cut you off.
No, that's
even my generation, when people are buying things from companies, they're always like more inclined to buy from someone that's giving back, like their money's going also towards an organization that's going to do good.
Right. And I think during the pandemic, you find more companies that are doing that.
Yeah.
They're saying a certain percentage of your donation will go to whatever charity. And I think that, as Diane said before, I think the greatest thing any Rotarian that helps to provide these services and any other charitable organization is the gratification that you feel. it makes you feel so good to know that you have helped those that really need the help, because there are so many needs out there.
I think that one of the important things that millennials should be looking for too is to find an avenue that aligns with your beliefs and what you feel. Rotary can help them do that because we have many areas of focus. We have peace and conflict resolution, we have disease prevention and treatment, water and sanitation, maternal and child health, basic education and literacy programs, economic and community development, sustaining the environment, which is so important to so many people of especially the younger generation, all generations of course, but especially the younger generation. And Rotary also has its youth programs, which Bryla is part of that. We also have a youth exchange program where high school students can go abroad for either a summer for 6 weeks or for an entire year and learn about international life that way. And connecting people internationally really does facilitate peace throughout the world, which is really Rotary's mission.
And then we have had students come over from abroad also, and I know Diane has been a host, and various Rotarians have hosted these youngsters, and we try to provide programs for them so that we can take them around, show them different things, take them into New York City, whatever, just to give them a good taste of what our country is about.
Good experience.
Yes,
Correct.
That's awesome.
All right. And one other thing that we do is we now do a friendship exchange where adults can go to other countries. We get a team of 10 couples and they can go to Australia and spend 3 or 4 weeks over in Australia or Germany or Italy or wherever, and then a team from there comes and stays with us and we do those kinds of things. So it just promotes world peace.
and I think another wonderful thing is that any Rotarian that travels abroad can find a Rotary Club to go and participate in, whether it be a breakfast meeting, a lunch meeting, a dinner meeting, or any kind of meeting. As long as they make themselves known that they're a Rotarian, they're welcomed. And this is throughout the world, because Rotary is the largest service organization in the world.
Wow. I didn't know.
Yes.
So you sound like you guys are a big family.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Worldwide.
Wow. That's
And I have to say, this is Diane's second presidency of Rotary. I
Third.
forget what. Oh, it was the third?
It's my
Was it
third.
third?
Yes.
Oh, my gosh. And her father is called Mr. Rotary because he's the longest member of the
Wow.
Mineola-Garden City
You have a lot of
Rotary
history
Club.
with it.
I do have a lot of history
She
with
grew up
Rotary.
in it. She says she
My
grew
father
up
was
in it.
Rotarian. He was a district governor. My grandfather was also a Rotarian in the Mineola-Garden City.
That's
Rotary
incredible.
Club.
It says something that your family sticks through it too.
Yeah.
That it's a good.
Yes.
Right.
And many years ago, Rotary was just gentlemen.
Oh.
However, one other Rotarian and myself, we were the first women to be admitted into Rotary
That's incredible.
33 years ago.
Oh my God. You guys
yeah.
are history.
Yeah.
I'm talking to history.
There you go.
Well, okay, I want to talk about something a little more serious. Now, we're all really shaken and disturbed by the recent rise in anti-Asian hate crimes that are happening here in America. We recently mourned the lives of 6 murdered women of Asian descent on March 17th, and the more recent horrific attack right here in New York of 65-year-old Vilma Carey. I know Rotary values diversity, and you guys celebrate that, the contributions of people, all backgrounds, regardless of their ethnicity, race, color, or culture, how it should be. But how can we, as a community, support and stand with our fellow residents of Asian descent and make sure we do more to protect them?
Oh, it's so terrible what happened. And of course, our thoughts and prayers go out to the families. Rotary is a diverse organization. It is worldwide. There are Rotary clubs in every country, almost, of the entire world. And it reflects every gender, every sex, every nationality, every religion. And that is one of the ways that we need to continue to support everybody. There should be diversity in the workplace. There should be diversity in every Rotary Club. There should be diversity in your friend groups. It should be everywhere. And Rotary, for example, held a rally to support the Asian community in the wake of this tragedy. But we're very proud of the diversity that Rotary encourages and expects in every club.
Yeah. Awesome. So we have a few minutes left before we wrap this up. What does 2021 look like for the Mineola-Garden City Rotary Club? What are some of your main goals and what you think will be happening the rest of the year?
Well, we're going to continue on Zoom for a little bit longer. It works out fine. We do get enough members on. We're going to continue our raffle project where we're giving 6 raffle winners every month between now and June with a grand prize. And then we're going to have to come up with a new way to raise money virtually going forward for the next year. We need to raise the money because we have all of these things that we want to sponsor, especially the scholarships for the high school seniors, and the dictionaries or other things that we can do in the elementary schools. We are going to continue to try to honor the people in the community, Mineola and the Garden City communities, who have done great work. We will continue. We will ring the bell next year. We will continue to support Ryla. We will continue to support the Gift of Life.
And Rotocare.
And of course, Rotocare.
And we hope to find another permanent place. But in the meantime, it's wonderful that this church is donating their facility.
That's right.
That's awesome.
That's right.
So if our audience would like to learn more about the Rotary Club, or maybe want to be a member now, how would we get in contact with you?
Please contact me. You can reach me at my email, diane.marmann@gmail.com. We are certainly looking for members of all ages. We would love to have a whole core of younger members.
Yes.
I understand that lunch meetings are very difficult for the younger generation with work, and one of the things that we can do is form a satellite club to our main club that is a cocktail club or an evening club or even a weekend club. So there are many ways that we can diversify ourselves to encourage younger members to participate and join Rotary. So please feel free to get in touch with me.
Awesome.
Yes, and I have to say that every week in my column, which is called This Week at Rotary, I do at the end of the column say anyone wishing more information about Rotary or wishing to join, information about joining Rotary, to please contact Diane, and I list her email. And we hope that we'll get some response there. And we have actually gotten a few new members.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Diane and Althea, so much for joining me in studio. I learned a lot about the Rotary Club today. And thank you for all your amazing work you're doing for the community. Hopefully we'll have you guys back soon.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you for having us.
And thank you guys for tuning in to this episode of GC360. If you'd like to watch this episode or past episodes, you can on our website at gc360podcast.com. I'll see you guys next time.